Yo, it's TrappedOutDvds.com, man. Bigga Rankin in the building, man. If you ain't fucking with us, man, you's a loser, man.
2 Chainz.
Hey! Yeah. Real nigga radio in the building with my dog.
2 Chainz.
Y'all know what this is, nigga.
I started in Chicago. You know, came from Jamaica at an early age. Lived in Chicago, Illinois, you know what I'm saying? I have a bunch of Jamaicans, and we are from Jamaica, so I have a bunch of, we used to rap on the microphone and do our thing. So whenever you was kind of great at what you're doing, you get that ranking at the end of your name. So I was bigger. So the better I get, I became Bigga Rankin. So I used to really rap reggae before I started MCing or DJing, you know what I'm saying? I used to rap, that's how I got the name Bigga Rankin.
September 17th, all trap gon' be closed, nigga. The first original big show in Duval, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I moved to Miami in '81 because my brother-in-law, you know, he moved to Miami with my sister. He was doing construction work. So he was like, hey, come check this out. So I came to Miami. I spent like about 6 months. I went back to Chicago, and then they moved to Jacksonville, Florida. Then I came to visit in Jacksonville. I never went back. I just stayed in Jacksonville. Came in Jacksonville, I think it was 80, 85, and I never went back. I run the Jeezy, the Boosie movement in Florida. You know what I'm saying? The Pastor Charles movement in Florida, the Ludacris movement in Florida. I know what I'm doing when I'm, you know, I mean, I know what I'm saying when I'm explaining it to you. Because I know how y'all feel. Because I felt that way before. I done seen niggas master their CDs and got kicked out of their house because they couldn't pay their rent. I done seen niggas put their album together and got their car repossessed just because he just knew that was going to be the shit. And it didn't do not one copy. So I know the pain. I know niggas who work and use their paycheck, barely paying his bills just to save a little bit of money to go to the studio. I mean, I know the pain, dog. I know that shit hurt. You feel me? But we can get up and run to the nigga on the corner and buy us a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci belt and drop our pants behind our ass and get you some Jordans and run around. I don't give a fuck, nigga. If your shit ain't right, you're just a nigga in a fake belt and some Jordans running around this one. Really, man, you know, in the music business, I was always looking for challenges, you know? And the first person who I really, like, put a whole lot into was JT Money, Poison Clan. I put a lot into breaking his records, you know, and you know, all the artists back then, Luke, like breaking their records in my area, you know, and then I started moving on to hip hop, you know, with the Wu-Tang, and you know, I just started playing those records first, and the way I introduce them, you know what I'm saying? People just love it. You know, move on to the Good and Mob, Outkast. Like I broke most of the artists. I broke them in the region, like Jacksonville, Gainesville, south part of Georgia, like Brunswick, Waycross, until I started moving on up to Macon. Until I started moving on out to Tallahassee, Pensacola, and I started spreading my wings. You know, because you know we had a sound system, so we didn't have to rent nothing. We just get our stuff, rent a U-Haul truck, and we were just moving and get it done. So it was a little easy for us because we had our equipment, you know what I'm saying? And I was a good, you know, when I get on that microphone, it just seemed like it was just, people would just, it was a magnet. They started listening, they would draw closer, and breaking records was like an art. Like I would just get a record to break, I'd act like it was my record. I would take the emotions that the artist wrote the record with, the emotion that the producer put it together with, then it was just like mine. So it's like I wouldn't even mention their name until the record was broke, like it was my record. So I was all into it, like I was in character with the record, like it was my record. And you know, that was my formula back then, you know? Because to us, man, music was, to me, music, I look at music as like therapy. Like when my mom died, or when my son died, you know, music is like therapy to me. Like, I can just get into music and I could lose everything else. Like, I just block everything else and just focus on the music. Especially if I'm around some positive people who's into what I'm into. And then again, I might drive from here to Atlanta and play no music. Just drive. I make a few phone calls and I just be thinking. So I just do a couple of different stuff that works for me. I don't rehearse. I just get on the mic and do what I do when I get to the club. I don't, when I do my Real Nigga Radio mixtape, I don't rehearse. I just get in there and come off the top because I want it to be fresh. I feel if I rehearse, it'll become something that anybody could do. That's why I have no tattoos, because I'm a trendsetter. I don't really want to do nothing nobody do.
Went from 55, 100, $20 bills. Niggas rapping about that work. I did this shit for real.
I think Cocaine 5. Cocaine Music 5. And I would say Cocaine Music 5 and TrappedOutDvds 2. TrappedOutDvds 2 with Titty Boy kind of took it to another level. Cocaine 5. God, it was always big in the street. But Cocaine 5, that's when on MTV crowned me DJ of the Year, and every blog from everywhere came at me. Everybody wanted to interview. They just but when I did Cocaine 5, because this is a competition thing with the other mixtape DJs, I came on that just swagging like God, it had to be me. Could nobody else do this? It had to be Bigga Rankin. I kept saying that through the tape because the way the music was, it fits my image, it fits what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it had to be me. It's got to be Bigga Rankin. And I think that's the one that kind of, that and TrappedOutDvds 2. Because Titty Boy was like, when I went to Titty Boy, I did TrappedOutDvds 1. It picked up, then we did TrappedOutDvds 2. And from the first day we dropped that tape, it just started moving. And it makes me, because I do a lot of tapes. You know, not every one of the tapes I do really gets big because you're just as good as your product. But I am work for hire. I can't, you know, I can't piss on your dream. You want to do a CD, I can give you my honest opinion that you don't sound as good as the rest of the guys, but I can't tell you to quit. Who am I to tell you to quit? So some I do don't really make it as big, and some make it big. But you know, I do have a formula, and it's been working, so I'm not gonna change it. 36 ounces is when everybody started coming to me to do a CD. I swear, that is true. So basically, my three months of CDs was 36 ounces first, TrappedOutDvds 2, and Cocaine 5. And all my CDs are monsters. I got some big ones. I like that Gucci Man from Zone 6 to Duval. That shit is like spectacular, man. That Zone 6 to Duval is the shit. It's big. It's like a Super Bowl. That Zone 6 to Duval, because the thing what I love that tape, Gucci Man, when he got all these tracks from Shorty Red, and he spent like $27,000 on just tracks. I was there. I'm not asking. He bought the tracks, had them mixed and mastered, and he had just bought a Corvette. And I went to New York. I went to Atlanta. We hollered at him. I was living in Jackson at the time. He had just bought a Corvette. He called me and said, "Hey man, I just picked up the Corvette. Just bought a brand new Corvette, red one. It's raw." I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "I'll be to Jackson within 10 minutes. I just entered." You know what I'm saying? And he came, and we sat, man, and put the tape together. He brought me the tape because I went up there and saw, you know, he was putting all the production together and everything. Yeah, as soon as he finished mixing and mastering, he brought it to me, and we did it because, you know, with Gucci Man was like, I always was into Gucci Man because Gucci Man was like one of those underdogs, you know, that's always reaching out for respect, and he wasn't getting it, so he was going hard. Man, every time I listen to that tape, I never heard nobody with those songs that's on that tape. That tape is a monster.
Hood politics, hood politics, hood politics, hood politics as usual. Hood politics, hood politics, hood politics, hood politics as usual. Hood politics, hood politics.
Well, with Jeezy's I remember when I met Jeezy when he was doing his thing, and I brought his music to Florida and started bumping it, and I was like real close to them because those TrappedOutDvds, I used to put them in stores in Florida and then bring the money back and give it to Coach K, you know what I'm saying? And Jeezy, like I was basically like a part of the movement that got going. And Jeezy, I gotta say, like, Jeezy had told me, like, I'm gonna bring you to Atlanta to do my album release party. And Tip had brought me there to do, I think it was Urban. I don't remember what album Tip had, but I think it was his second album. He took me there too to Visions to do his release, and most of the DJs in Atlanta was mad because they're known as the go-to person, but these guys saw something in me that they really believed in. And when I went to Atlanta and do those Stu mixtape release party, man, the way that was packed, you feel me? I mean, Tip on was packed, but Jeezy just had this thing about him, man, where, you know, he got up there and he just, while he was doing the thing, he gave me a shout out, and it was very serious the way he did it. You know what I'm saying? Very, very serious. Like Bigga Rankin, man. You this, you that, man. I respect what you do. It's one of the hardest DJ men here out of Florida. I was like, damn. So that was 2005, 2006. Me and Dog just always corresponding, and you know, my girl had a baby about 3.5 years ago, and I was in the hospital room and I got a phone call. Jeezy was like, man, I need you to come fuck with this shit, man. Like, be the VP over here, blah, blah, blah. I'm a street nigga, you know what I'm saying? Dog gave me an office, paid me real good. We did good business. He did good business with me, you know? And I helped push the artists, and things didn't work out, you know, with the crew we had. So, you know, I just moved on. I fuck with God real heavy right now because he been real with me since day one. So I do a lot of marketing stuff. I really like his brand. I like how he treat people. So, you know, that's why I rock it. But I fuck with Jeezy. He's the first one to give me a job, you know. He ain't never done me no wrong. But this is what I gotta say. You gotta have a movement. You gotta stand for something or you're gonna fall for anything, man. Most of the DJs that are coming up right now, I think the best way to get in the game is to break independent artists, because that way the labels, everybody see what you do. You can't, anybody can put something together. If you're a virtual DJ, like, just press a button and the shit just run and it mix itself, all this crazy shit, man. And I came from the old days, man, where we had to carry record crates and, you know, you had to put like a little nickel or a penny on top of your needle so it don't jump. And some of the album was so low you had to turn all the way. You know what I'm saying? I came from where you have to actually DJ. Not saying that these guys ain't as good, but I came from the era where you got to actually DJ. Most of these DJs just get up and just play what they see on 106 and Park or what they hear on the radio. They won't take a chance on the record. If you don't take a chance on the record, you're not a real DJ. Then, you know, some DJs, you know, the promoter or the club owner dictates how they DJ. Some of them got to do it because it's their job, you feel me? But some of them don't have to do that and they still don't do no better, you know? So the way I look at it right now, boss, to be honest with you, the DJs nowadays, they just got to get a movement going. You got to do something. Whether you break records, you throw parties, you promote, whatever, you got to have a movement. You can't just DJ. It's too dry. You got to do something. You got to have something going on. Really, man, you know, you can always hit me up at 770-363-0748 or at strongfamilyinfo@gmail, or biggarankin00@gmail.com. You know, I'm on Twitter, Bigga Rankin 00, Instagram, Bigga Rankin 00. You can reach me, man. I'm like one of the easiest guys to reach. It's a number on every one of my mixtapes. When you're listening all the way to the end, you're gonna hear that number, man. I'm real easy to reach, man. I'm easy to talk to, especially if you got good music.